The reason why we have high unemployment in the 19th district is because we're overburdened with regulations, government regulations, and a corporate tax structure that does not encourage companies to come in to the 19th district, into Campbell County, Pittsylvania County, Danville, and Franklin County. I drive as a part of my law practice all over the district and all the other parts, and I see these beautiful factories. And as I get closer to them and I wonder who those factories belong to and what company is there, I notice cracks in the pavement with grass growing up, and there's no cars there. And we have all this infrastructure, and we have a skilled workforce, but we have no companies. They've gone overseas. Textiles and manufacturing will never come back. We have to admit that. But we're on the cutting edge of new technologies that can use our factories that lie empty right now. What we have to do is train that workforce. A government has an obligation to train its workforce, to create a skilled workforce. Government people and politicians always like to say, I'm a job creator. The government, unless it's been creating a government job, and a politician have never, ever created one job. Government's obligation and role is merely to create the environment where jobs can occur. How do you do that? By reducing those overreaching burdens. Department of Environmental Quality. Anybody have any experience with DEQ? Oh, do you like them?
No.
No. You know, that is just one administrative agency in the state that absolutely crushes business, small business and large business.
EPA is about to do that with their carbon dioxide regulations, bypassing the cap and trade.
Right, that's federal. You know, that's a federal agency. DEQ likes to act like EPA. What we have to do is remove those burdens. We have to also, quite frankly, remove tax burdens to small businesses and large corporations that want to do business in our district. Because, you know, government revenue is not by taxing corporations and small businesses. It's by generating employment. When it creates that environment for employment, then those people pay taxes. They go out and they eat dinners, and they pay those taxes that they put on, eating dinner, and they pay taxes when they go to the grocery store. They pay taxes when they buy gas, and they pay taxes when they live in our homes, in our area. That's how you generate revenue. The state government needs to be smaller. We need to make sure that it only provides core services: health, education, welfare, safety. Okay? That's the government's function. And then the rest of it should be left to you. That is, let's not put any more burdens of government regulation, whether it be state, it's too much already in the feds. Let's not do any more to our people. We trust our people in the Commonwealth of Virginia. We trust them to do the right thing. We trust them to use their ingenuity and their innovation to employ people, to start new businesses, to pursue their American dream. It's what we, the government, can do, which is to get out of the people's way. So that's one reason I'm running. The other reason is, of course, if you look at the influences in Richmond right now, you have the influences of Northern Virginia, or as they say down here, occupied Virginia, and Hampton Roads, and Virginia Beach, and Richmond. But we need a voice for Southside. We need a strong voice for Southside to make sure that when those transportation dollars are going to be spent, that they're spent on our bridges, that they're spent on our infrastructure. Because our infrastructure needs to be modernized if we're to bring these corporations down and put them into these empty factories. So we need to make sure, and I will be a strong voice, to make sure that transportation dollars and that our voice is heard. And that we're not going to take it just because Dick Sasselaw is from Northern Virginia. That we're going to be heard, and that not only will we be heard, we will be a driving force in the future of the Commonwealth of Virginia. I always believe, and always have, but I believe Arizona's laws, when it comes to immigration, are on the right track, and that Virginia needs to enforce immigration laws when the federal government will not do so. Amen. Illegal immigration costs us billions of dollars in the Commonwealth of Virginia over time. As a trial lawyer, I can tell you, I have seen numerous times where illegal aliens get charged with crimes. Let's just take by an example a DUI. They get arrested. 9 times out of 10, they don't have the right license plate on there. They give a bad ID. Somebody bonds them out, or they're released after time. They give a bad name, and when their court date comes up, guess who does not show up? Guess who they can't even go find?
Their lawyer.
I can guarantee you their lawyer is court appointed and he shows up. He wants the $100. He shows up. So he's the one guy that does show up. But they don't show up, which means one and only thing: they're not subjected to our laws. They don't respect our laws. And so even in that instance, it's a burden on our judicial system, and it's not fair. But it's also a burden on our economic system. And I think, number one, that Arizona's right and Virginia should stand with them, and I will fight to make sure those laws